What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda. After Spurs have beaten Liverpool by 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the result doesn't tell the full story of the game. As a football fan who has been watching this sport for 35 years now, that is the worst refereeing performance I have witnessed with my own two eyes. I ask you as football fans to use your voice, to speak up on social media and to demand better. The PGMOL has put out a statement. I've uploaded that statement to our YouTube channel for you to look at if you have the time, and they have acknowledged that Luis Diaz's goal should have stood and that Liverpool were absolutely shafted. That is not worth anything to us. We have been done out of 3 points, and that's me biting my tongue, but we'll leave that for another conversation. Right now, I'm going to go through and give you my player ratings, and let me just start off by saying this. Each and every one of those Liverpool players today were heroes. Each and every one of them can carry themselves with dignity and heart and passion. Each and every one of them can walk with their head held high. It was a privilege to watch Liverpool players put in that performance. It was a privilege to watch them fight for the shirt like they did. Joel Matip at the end, my heart goes out to him. It can happen to anybody. It is no reflection on his performance. It was just heartbreaking bad luck. So that's what I want to start off with. Now we'll go through the player rating, starting off with Alisson Becker, who may have conceded 2 goals today, but in my opinion, he was Superman. The saves he made, again, top notch. The best in the world with no doubt. Alisson Becker, for me, gets a score of 9 out of 10. He couldn't have humanly done any more. He is the best in the world. It's a pleasure to watch him do his thing at Liverpool Football Club. Moving on to Joe Gomez. I thought Joe had a very good game today. For me, I'm going to give Joe Gomez a score of 9 out of 10 because, again, defended manfully, did everything he could do, fought courageously with the rest of the boys. Moving on now to speak about Joel Matip, and your heart has to go out to Joel. You could see he was crestfallen at the end of that game. We defended so well, we fought so hard. At the very end, last minute of stoppage time, the ball gets played across. Joel tries to block it. It ricochets off his foot and goes into the top corner of the net. You can't but feel sorry for Joel. But his reflection of his performance today, he gets a solid 8 out of 10 because I thought he was really good. And that can happen to anyone. Moving on to Virgil van Dijk, our captain today. And it must have been tough for Virgil out there when he's seen Simon Hooper and his band of corrupt, inept officials shafting his team once again. Liverpool have had 4 red cards in 7 games. This is a team who have topped the fair play charts for 5 consecutive years under Klopp. We all know what we've seen today, and he must have had to bite his tongue because he knows, open your gob, 100 grand fine and an extra ban, but only if you play for Liverpool. So Virgil van Dijk today gets a score from me of 8 out of 10. Nobody at our side was at fault today. The guys couldn't have done any more. Andy Robertson, again, defended as good as he could, worked as hard as he could, ran every yard on the pitch, and again, nothing but admiration for the lad. A score of 9 out of 10 for Robbo. He was sublime. And again, to all of them, my heart goes out to them. I'm immensely proud of them. Moving on to Alexis McAllister, and being fully clear and transparent, I didn't think he had the greatest game. Now, obviously there is extenuating circumstances, but I'm trying to be fair in what I say here. So for me, I'm going to give Alexis a score of 7 out of 10. He is still being forced to play in a position that isn't his natural position. Difficult for him to do it, but he does it without moaning, and I really appreciate that from one. I'm sure you guys do as well. But today, I think 7's a fair reflection on his score. Moving on to Curtis Jones, the man who was sent off today for what I can only describe as a farcical red card. Again, look at the incident. Look what happens when the referee gets told to go to the monitor. The referee walks over to the monitor, and what is he greeted with? He is greeted with a still image being paused at the very worst point of that challenge that makes it look like Curtis Jones tried to snap Bissouma's ankle. That was left there for 3 to 5 seconds. Then they rewound it in slow motion, which of course makes everything look worse. If the referees and VAR need to look that hard in slow motion for something, it's very clear that they're looking for problems. Anybody who's ever played the game will know what happened there was Curtis went in for the ball with Bissouma. Curtis got the ball, his foot rolled over the top of the ball and into the player. No force, no deliberate tactic, no way looking to hurt them. Never, ever a red card. Gary Neville on comms for Sky, same thing. Never a red card. But what happened? The same official that sent off Alexis McAllister waddled his ball at last to the middle of the pitch and sends off Curtis Jones. It's a sham, and Hooper needs to be looked at. Curtis Jones scored today. Going to give Curtis a score of 7. It wasn't his fault he was sent off. It was at best a yellow. At worst, I should say, excuse me. Dominic Szoboszlai, Superman. This boy is special. He is a leader and he leads by example. He covered every blade of grass today and he installed a fight into that team that we love, that characterises Jurgen Klopp's boys. Szoboszlai gets a 10 for me today. That was a perfect performance from Dom. I couldn't be prouder. The dude is exceptional. Moving on to Luis Diaz, the man who had a goal ruled out incorrectly. And you don't even have to listen to my rants anymore. The PGMOL themselves have said it was ruled out incorrectly. But again, we're just unlucky as Liverpool fans, right? Definitely nothing going on against us. Diaz today gets a score of 7 out of 10. But he should have had a 7 out of 10. And the goal. Shafted. Mohamed Salah, again the great man, like everyone on the pitch, worked really hard. In possession at times, took a bit too much out of the ball when we had 11 versus 11. But look, again, like everybody else on the pitch today, Mo ran himself into the ground, wore his heart on his sleeve. You could see him fighting hard for the team, running the channels. Nothing but admiration for the man. Great performance. An 8 out of 10 and deserved better. We all deserve better. Those players played their heart out today. Cody Gakpo got himself a goal, gave us all a scare that maybe he had an injury after that, but did his job. Again, worked hard, fought hard, ran the hard yards, had to go off obviously at half time. Hopefully it's nothing serious. You know, what happened today to us was bad enough without having an injury thrown into the mix, so I hope Cody's okay. We're going to give him a score of 7 out of 10. Moving on to the manager now, and I think Jurgen did everything he could today. The only critique some of you guys had was that Darwin didn't get on the pitch, but he was going to be coming onto the pitch before that ridiculous Jota red card. That red card for the Diogo Jota sums up exactly why these referees aren't fit for purpose. The second foul, I can understand the yellow. I don't have a complaint about that. But the first part, the dude tripped himself and the referee booked Jota. Every time a Liverpool player fouled someone today, Hooper was going for the yellow card immediately. It was embarrassingly inept from the official. So I'm going to give our manager a score of 9 out of 10 today because honestly, the fact that he managed to keep his composure somewhat on the sideline, the fact that he didn't take Simon Hooper's head and put it through that monitor at the side of the pitch, that in itself deserves a 9. So I hope that the same people who were quick enough to call him salty and gobby come to his defence here because he's seen his team shafted today. So my friends, it is over to you now. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Do you agree with the incidents from the referee? Again, the PGMOL have already come out and said that it was a goal that was ruled out. Not good enough to us. We didn't see it overturned. Why couldn't they have done their job? So if the lines weren't working, the eye test would have told VAR that he was onside. Because I have multiple images of it and I could see it was onside. So if I can see it and you can see it and the people in social media can see it, how is it the referee surrounded by monitors couldn't come to the decision that the linesman was wrong to put his flag up and didn't overturn it? You know why. I know why. I hope now the rest of the world knows why. Over to you, my friends. Catch up with you soon.